Howdy, howdy, howdy. There. So I'm going to take this one down. It has been a while since I've been live, I know. So I'm coming to you guys, and I know it's like I haven't done anything to myself. So I'm actually coming to you guys from my studio. I know it's been like forever. I tell you, I have had the busiest summer and uh, excited about all the things that's happening. Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show was phenomenal. We actually got invited to Denver, so we're gonna actually the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show will be in Denver in October. So if you are in Denver, boom, see you in Denver in October. We're gonna be at an event for a 3-day event in Denver in October, which is pretty exciting. So I'm hoping you guys will be able to join us. But I'm doing it in the studio today, and I know it's late, but I'm like, you know what? I thought about it. I'm like, I'm gonna do it in the studio today. And actually, what I did was I went through a lot of my art that I had it in storage, and so just start pulling stuff out. Got invited to an exhibit in Boulder, and I was like, okay, I have so much stuff, so much going on. And they were like, well, we need about 6 pieces. And I was like, I don't usually do that where it's like this last minute. But, I've been trying to connect in all of the different cities around, just in the general area. And Boulder was one of them. So I'm like, okay, this is great. I'm going to go ahead and do it and collaborate and work with this gallery. And so the owner came by and was like, well, let's see what you have. I said, well, hold up, because I have to be in Denver with some art, and I have the studio art tour going on. So I have to be here. So I'm going to actually show you guys some art that you have never seen of mine, because it has been in storage, and I just pulled it out because I'm like, hey, you know what? I need to start pulling out some of these other pieces, because a lot of times I feel like as an artist, I'm ahead of the time with my art. And so I felt like just recently I needed to pull these pieces out because it's the time for these pieces now. This is the time for these pieces now. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm really excited about introducing these pieces back into the public view. So, and back into that in this particular series that I'm about to show you guys. And I'm actually going to be doing a repair because they were in an area and one of them got damaged. So I'm actually going to be repairing a canvas. I'm going to start today, but I'm going to do an entire canvas repair throughout this weekend, so you guys can see how, if you have a canvas that has had some damage, how you can go about repairing that canvas. So make sure you guys follow, hit my likes, follow, so that you can get all the updates and when I'm going to come on, because I'm going to be trying to come on more now that I have some more time. But I do have a lot of other projects going on, so definitely stay tuned. So I'm just going to take you guys around my studio. I finally got it semi cleaned up. It's not fully cleaned up, but it's semi cleaned up. So we can actually walk around it. And I was doing some more stuff. And you guys know, any artists know, if you have a studio, it gets torn apart when you are busy. So, but you'll see we are missing some things because we've been selling some stuff. But I wanted you guys to see these really cool pieces that I just pulled out. And this series is actually called Intimacy, and it's called Intimacy. And so, but when I was creating it, it became Intimacy, because that's what intimacy is. This thing is like doing its own thing, guys. So you might be like moving around more than I'm moving you around. Like right now, it's like it's moving itself. So these are some of the pieces from the Intimacy series, and And I popped you guys off for a second because I pushed the button. And so this is actually from my intimacy series. And these are some of the pieces, not my birds, but these over here. And these are just, I absolutely love them. I loved when I did them. And yes, you guys, I have on my comfy clothes. So, because I'm in my studio and I've been in my studio all day. So I have on my comfy clothes, and this is pretty much, I'm going to turn some extra light on over here because I just want to have this a little more lit up. And just to kind of show you guys some of this, and I'll be showing you guys throughout the weekend some new things, some of my other things that I've had kind of in storage. And so this is, like I said, it's my intimacy series, and it's called Intimacy. To me, is intimacy. And so you have the two individuals looking at each other because they're creating this intimacy, and then some of the pieces actually submerge and join together because that's what this series is about. And so I'll show you this one here, and as you can see, this one over here, you can see how they literally come together into this one sort of body. And I always use these leaves. I love these leaves. They're the skeleton leaves. I don't know if you could see it. I'll bring you a little closer, but it's the skeleton leaves because I love using the skeleton leaf as a seed. So it's like, for me, when I put that in there, it's like a seed creating this intimacy, creating that body. And I love doing these kinds of pieces because when I create them, the colors, once they come together, they blend and they make that new color. So, blue and yellow creates that green color. And so that's how they've joined together. And that's what I love about this particular series, is creating that joining of people. And so so I really like, and it's like doing this series. I remember when I first started the series, it was totally different from what I would usually do. So what I ended up doing was in order to make all of them the same, I ended up creating like a silhouette. And then I could take that silhouette and put that silhouette in everywhere. So I didn't have to like keep making this over and over again. So I did a male and a female silhouette. So that way I could have the same sort of image on each piece and not have to kind of like guess and try to make it, but I could actually make the same image on each piece. And so that's one of the things I really loved about doing the series. And then this one, and then I branched out a little bit on this one, and you can see this one actually has a gold frame, but I just love these. And so I'm so glad I went down and brought them up. And like I said, these were pieces that were in my storage area, and so they haven't been out and seen. And so this one here is one that I really, really love because this is also a part of intimacy, but it's also the planting of, it's a seed. It's called the giver of life. So this one is actually called the giver of life. And so you can see here where I did the two leaves, and like I said, the leaves for me are about planting a seed. It's about birth. It's about all of these different things, love and all of that kind of stuff. And so this is with the intimacy series, and I had to do, I'll be honest, I had to do a lot of cleanup because they were really dusty. Even though I had put them and covered them and took care of them, they still were dusty. I don't know why, but they came out, there was a lot of dust on them, so I had to take the dust off of them and clean them up. Oh, hey. Hey, Louise, how are you? Creating a silhouette for the multiple uses. Yes, thank you. And but that was the whole thing. And I remember, and this series was created several years ago. And it's funny because most people don't know, but it was Israel Holton. I think that's who he is, and he's actually a singer. And years ago, he had come to our church, and this is when I was still in Chicago. He came to our church, and he did this entire concert that dealt with intimacy. And I went home and I literally created this series out of the music that he had done. And I just absolutely love that music. And so, because he talked about how intimacy was intimacy, how we see into each other. And so there was other pieces that I created during that time as well. This one right here is called Mother, Father, Earth. I love it. This is probably one of my favorite pieces in the series. And so actually I'm going to be, I don't know if you guys know, I'm creating a new series. It's part of the Alone series. And I actually think I'm going to add this one because in the Alone series, I'm using a lot of trees and people and connections. So I'm going to I was looking at this one and it just felt like it belonged to part of that one. And then this right here is called The Council. And you can see same concept where I'm using these different imageries and having them submerged within each other. So you get these dual colors and the overlapping of color, because I love doing overlap colors. And so when you enter into or they become a part of each other, their colors blend. And to me, that's relationship wise, is that's what happens is you get this beautiful color blend. So as you join with your mate or whoever and create this intimacy bond, you create this whole nother beautiful color or beautiful feel. And then here's another one. This is actually one of I love this piece too. This one right here. This is actually another one of my colors. And I'm gonna see if you guys can guess the title of this piece. And so you see that I love this is another one of my favorite ones. I love this one because it's a joining of two individuals that are of a different color. And so, but showing this really, really amazing joining of culture. Oh, yes, you remember that concert. I know. Did on intimacy. Yes. Prince Violet's great from that time of worship. Glad it pulled out. Yes, Louise, I created from, this is a series I actually created from that time of worship, because a lot of my art comes out of worship. A lot of the work that I do actually comes out of worship. It's what I do when I'm creating. A lot of times I'm listening to worship music and worship songs. And here's another one that is also a part of that particular series. So it's all about, these are pieces that I created during that time. So I'm not even going to tell you how long ago that was, but these pieces are actually going to be showing at an art gallery in the month of October, which is exciting. And then tomorrow, I'm going to show you a whole nother series of paintings that I did that was just literally centered around, I did a whole nother series that was centered around children. And then I did another series that was centered around trees, because you guys already know that I'm totally into florals, flowers, trees, planting, gardening, all of that kind of stuff, nature. And so I have another series that I centered around that. But I want to show you guys what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be working on this piece right here. And you probably could see some of the other stuff, but my studio is filled with paintings that I've pulled out that I'm going to be working on because I have things that I want to kind of do and work on. So this particular large piece here is also part of the intimacy series, but when I pulled it out, it had a big hole in the bottom because where it was stored, somebody linked something very sharp up against it and tore a hole in it. I'm going to show you that. But as you can see, this is also intermixed. There's four forms here, and they're all intermixing within to each other. And this is my largest piece of that series that deals with the intimacy. And I was really, really just drawn to the intimacy concept and understanding that entering into each other and understanding each other, becoming that one, that joint individual. You know, it's like bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And I was trying to, my whole concept was to interpret that into these pieces. What does it look like to be intimate, and understanding how, you know, that is, you know, how you create that intimacy, and making sure, you know, it's like, for me, it's like creating it with the person that you're supposed to be creating with. So as you can see, I'm just flipping it over, and you can see, look at that giant, it's a giant hole. And I'm like, oh my gosh, when I saw that, because when I took the bag off, I could not believe this big giant rip in this piece. Look at that. I could not believe it. And so you can see it's in these particular pieces, I did them in a mounted frame. So these are all frames that my husband and I created, because normally when I do art, I kind of know what kind of framing I want. And so I explained it to him, and then he created these amazing frames for this particular body of work. And so as you can see, it's like fully backed. And so what I have to do is, since these are great frames, I have to actually unscrew the panels. I have to unscrew all of the canvases. I have to unscrew the canvas off of this particular framing, because we screwed all of the canvases in them. So 4 of them have this framing. Well, actually 5 of them have this framing on them. So, but this is the only one that suffered some serious damage. So I'm gonna have to take it off and then work on repairing the actual canvas. And I know I was like, well, repairing the canvas, what is that gonna look like? What is that gonna feel like? And even though you repair the canvas on these pieces, and because canvas can be repaired, a lot of people don't. Sometimes they just figure, oh, well, it got a hole in it, I gotta toss it. You don't have to toss it. You can actually repair the canvas. So I remember years ago, I had this absolutely amazing piece, and my sister, I'm gonna bring this down, I didn't like where it was. My sister, actually, we were at a show, and she was helping me, and she accidentally, and it was literally my showpiece, and she accidentally let something fall on it, and it ripped the canvas. And I was just like, oh no, it was my main showpiece. It was the centerpiece that was going up in the exhibit. And there was nothing to be done about it, because I couldn't repair it right there. I had to wait. I had to take it off of, I had to take it out of the show, because there was just no way to get the repair done. Because, repairing canvas, you have to lay it out, take the canvas, use a certain kind of glue, use other canvas for the repair, because it's not like you just stick the canvas back together. That's not how it works. So it'll take several days to repair the canvas, but the canvas can be repaired. It's just like patching up clothing. So we'll be adding a patch to create that. But I think my biggest chore is going to be getting the canvas off of here, because I got the screws out, but this has been on here for a long, it's been on here for a long time. So we'll see if I can actually get the canvas off. Because, you know, sometimes when you have canvas on something for a long time, it gets stuck. And I'm pretty sure I didn't put any type of adhesive on it because I didn't want it to stick. We just kind of screwed into the wood of the canvas. So that means I'm going to have to put these all back where they belong once I get this on here. The other thing I thought about was I really like this frame. Do I want to put something else in it as opposed to this piece? But then I was like, oh, Louise, put this piece back. It's really nice. It's a really nice piece, so put it back. So I'm trying to see. I'm not sure if these are, no, they're not in there. I was trying to see if those, and now I'm trying to look to make sure I have all of the screws out. And I do. And I want to make sure that I don't have anything else in there. So now, the trick will be is to remove the canvas. And like I said, this canvas has been in this position for a lot of years. So it's not going to want to just pop out. It's not going to just pop out. So I'm going to get a little, let's go over here. I knew it wasn't going to pop out. I would have liked it to just pop out. I would have loved it if it had just popped out, but something told me it was not going to just pop out. So we're going to have to use a few things to see if we can get this canvas out. And if you have any ideas, by all means, I would love to hear them. Yeah, I can hear it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's just stuck, that's all. So we're gonna unstick it off of the, there we go. Ooh, that was, there we go. It was just stuck in a couple of places because it was screwed in well. That's good screwing in, y'all. All right, let's go ahead and take it off. Yeah, some of the, there you go. We're just gonna pull that out. There we go. It came out. And you can see it was just kind of stuck in place, which is nice because I'll be able to stick it back there where it belongs. So now that we have the canvas taken out, I'm gonna take the frame, because the frame is still in great shape. I'm gonna take the frame and put it over here, scoot this over, and I'm just gonna put the frame over here up against this. There we go. I don't want to put it on other artwork. So there. So we've moved the frame out of the way, and now we're gonna look at the canvas. So you can see it's got a big hole in it. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, so that's a pretty big hole. So we're gonna look at it. The other thing that I'm going to look at is this canvas actually came out of a very humid environment. So there's been some drying. I can tell by the texture of it and how it feels. I can tell that it's dry, a little drier than I would want it to be. So I am going to put some water on it. I'm probably going to put a towel on it so that it can get some moisture because it's it hasn't had a lot of moisture, so it's going to be hard to get it back together. So this is going to be a tricky one because, like I said, this canvas came out of the Midwest and now it's here in the Southwest, which means that the Southwest is a lot drier than the Midwest. So I'm going to have to see if I can moisten it up so that when I do start applying some of the techniques that I'm going to be using, I'm going to look at possibly doing, I remember I had canvas repaired once before and we used a rabbit skin glue on it. So I'm going to see if that's the direction I want to go with this piece or if I want to go in a different direction. But as you can see, there is a big rip in here. And we'll see how or if it can be repaired. I'm under the assumption that it can be, so I'm definitely going to do my best. Hey, Tierra. She's my canvas repair person. I'm gonna come over here and see what she has to say because the frame looks heavy. I'm sure. What did you say? Okay, she said, I'm sure it took some muscle to bring up that series. Yes, it did. Thank goodness I had Richard though. I had my husband bring all of those up. But yeah, so Tiara, I'm gonna be like, hey Tiara, what do you think of this rip? So I'm going to be doing this repair. And if you guys have some suggestions, if you've done repairs before, let me know. Let me know what you've done in the past for repairs for images. Okay, so who is this right here? I have you. Yes. So let me know some of the repairs you guys have done on canvas that you've had. Perry, you're great. Well, yeah, I do my best, Hope. I do my best. We'll see if I can get it. I have to, you know what? I keep walking over here because when you guys, I'm on my phone, and so I need my glasses to see the comments from my phone. So I have to do this. There we go. So I can put my glasses on when I'm reading from there. Then I don't have to walk all the way over. So we're gonna see how the repair turned out. I'm definitely going to get started on this repair tomorrow. So I'm hoping you guys tune in tomorrow so that you can see me do some repairs. I'm actually going to be doing some more art out of my studio. I'm going to be working on this guy. I want to get him. I put him back on the easel because it's time to get some more work done on this guy over here. I'm going to start back on my Hattie McDaniels piece because you guys know me and Hattie had to take a break over the summer because I had so much to do, but I put this guy back on the easel and I'm going to start adding some more metal leaf. I let all of my glue dry, so I'm going to put some more because I added some of my glue down, and I'm going to put some more down because I was supposed to do it the other day and I didn't get around to it, and so it all dried on me. So I'm going to go back in to the places where I put it, my size, so that I can resize, and because I'm looking forward to working on him. I have some new ideas for him, and I'm really excited about that. And then also this guy right here. So I have a ton of things going on. I have a ton of pieces. I'm just so excited to be back in my studio. You guys know the summer was so busy that I wasn't even in my studio at all summer, but I'm back. I'm back in my studio, and so you guys will be getting some more updates on what I'm doing in the studio. When I come back in the studio, you guys will be doing you'll be getting a lot more updates. Thanks, Hope. Thanks a lot. So you guys will be getting a lot more updates as I enter back into my studio. The fall is usually, I'll be honest, the fall is usually my work season. I like working through the fall. It's a beautiful time of year. I'm in the house. Sometimes it's a little cool. The other thing I'm going to be working on, and I'm really excited about that, is the community quilt that we started in June during Juneteenth. That is going to be exciting because I'm doing something I've never done before. Now I do sew, which some of you knew and some of you didn't, but I've never done a quilt. And so I have a young lady that's working with me from CSU, and she is like my quilt director. And so she's showing me some things that I didn't know. And so I'm going to start working on the main panel coming up. So I'm going to be clearing out a space in my studio so I can start working on the main panel. And I know it's like, oh my God, Louise, there's so many things going on in your life. And yes, there is a lot of things going on in my life, but I'm pretty excited about it. So I've been watching all these different videos because I want to have that ready for, and that's the community quilt for Fort Collins. So I'll be adding some Fort Collins history to it. and different things like that. So make sure you guys stay tuned because I will be posting a lot more stuff coming up. I will be doing my live. I'll be putting them up so you guys can see them. I will be back in my studio soon. Oh yes. You will be joining forces, Tiara. Tiara will be joining forces. So Tiara says she'll be back in her studio soon, which is great. And so I'm gonna be posting. I'm gonna make Tiara come on with me sometimes. I'll have Tiara. I'm gonna have you come on with me. I'm gonna have Tiara come on with me sometimes. I'm gonna have her stream live, and we'll be working together just in her studio and my studio. We'll just have a work fest. How about that, Tiara? And anybody else that wants to join, we'll just have a work fest where we're just working. As you can see, I do work a lot during the day, but evenings are kind of like my mental time, and I tend to work a little better in the evening when it's quiet and everybody's kind of in their own space in my home. So it'll be like at different times. And so you guys kind of tune in. I'll make sure I post a schedule, and I'll not necessarily a schedule, but you'll see when the posts come up, the time will be on each post. So I'll pre-schedule these when I'm coming up in the studios. I'll pre-schedule them. Then that way you'll know when they're coming up, and if you can make it, you can sign on and let's have a work fest. Yes, we're gonna do a work fest, Tiara. And and anybody that wants to join the work fest, it's the fall, so we can all work together. We can all do the work fest together. So I'm really excited about it. And I find that when you're working with others, you do work more, you do produce more. So I'm looking forward to doing the work fest too. So definitely come join the work fest. Just don't make you sing. Oh, you're a great singer. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post this for that. I'm going to post your singing. I'm going to post your singing on one of these. I'm going to make sure when we're doing the work fest that I post that video of you singing. Tiara came and visited me on the street one day while I was out singing to the world, and Tiara got to sing too. So if you come on the street with me, you'll end up singing. You'll end up getting a song and being able to sing with me. So those are some of the things that I'll be working on this fall, which seems like a lot, but it is. It is a lot now that I think about it. It seems like a lot because it is a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna come back. I'm back over here, so I need to put my glasses on. Yeah, Tiara, you're gonna be singing. My glasses are always kind of crooked. So, but yes, Tiara, you will be singing on the street, and anybody else that wants to come, I'm gonna post the video of Tiara singing. She has an absolutely wonderful voice, and I'll probably just be posting different videos throughout that whole time of singing and working and all of that kind of stuff while we're working. So that's a date, Tiara. So you might as well start figuring out what you're going to be working on. Even if you're working on, what is it we're working on right now? The 7 days of creation. Even if you have we might spend one day working on those pieces, particular pieces, the 7 days of creation. We'll spend some time working on those. I put my glasses on because I can't see the comments necessarily on my phone unless I'm like this with my glasses. So I'm not going to stay on too long tonight. I think this is about a half an hour. Tune in tomorrow, and I'm going to start working on putting together. I'm going to start working on this, and I'll be working on some other things as well. But I'm going to start working on repairing this particular canvas. The gallery will be picking up these other paintings next Wednesday. So all of these paintings over here that I was showing you in the Intimacies collection will be going to the gallery next Wednesday. So all of these pieces will be abandoning ship. So all of these pieces will be leaving the studio next Wednesday, and they'll be off to a gallery. And the guy, I was like, wow, I was gonna have these out. I got 2 pair of glasses on right now. I was gonna put these in the studio art tour, and he goes, oh, you have all of these other pieces. You can put those in the studio art tour. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just go with these. My studio art people will see these on another time. But hopefully they'll all sell at the gallery. So I do have to do some repairs on these. Like I said, I brought them out from the basement, and they've been in that basement for a while. They've been in my basement storage for a while. So I'm gonna have to do little bits of repairs here and there on them. Not a lot. Mostly it's just touching up the black paint, because for some reason the black paint got a little scuffed. So I just have to touch up the black paint. I did do a big wipe down on all of these. That's what I love about, I can just wipe oil paint down, just like wipe it down, and that's just it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the pieces that were a part of one of my other collections. So you got an idea of some other stuff that I do. And then tomorrow I'm going to show you an entirely different series that I worked on with children. And because I did years ago, I love doing just little kids and working in sort of like monochromatic, and not just monochromatic, but just picking 2 or 3 different colors, or a color like a warm palette or a cool palette, and creating from just that palette. So I'll be showing you some of those tomorrow. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's been exciting to be able to chat with you all and say, hey. So I'm going to, I know you see my finger, because where is this? I'm on the wrong side. So I'm going to do this side because I got my finger right there. So I'm going to say, look, can you still see my finger? Because working with my phone is so different than working with some of my other stuff. And so it's a little harder for me to work with my phone, and as opposed to just like working on my computer when I'm doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow though, because I will be back tomorrow. I will put up the time so you guys will be able to see it, so you can tune in and hang out with me tomorrow. And so I will sign off and say bye and Saranara. It's what? Saranara. All right, never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. The purpose of my art is to bring peace and harmony into a world where chaos has become the norm.